Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome to the Tony C. Davis Show, coming to you by way of the Raven International Network and the amazing Women and Men of Power. Again, I am your host, Tony C. Davis, where we share everything from faith, family, fitness, finance, and fun, and anything in between. So if you have some valuable content you'd like to share, reach out to me at thetcdshow@gmail.com. That's thetcdshow@gmail.com, and we can share your valuable content. So stay tuned for this week's show. Hey guys, welcome to the Tony C. Davis Show. I am your host, Tony C. Davis, coming to you live here on Facebook and also on Roku, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker by way of the Raven International TV Network. And tonight, guys, I have a treat for you. A young man that's actually been on the show before. If I was very impressed with him, I decided to bring him back. And so, young man is out of Rossville, California. He is a serious entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur as well. And he's not just a guy that's busy, he's actually productive. And so, again, I appreciate you for having this young man on the show. And I hope you don't mind me referring to you as a young man because you are younger than I am.
That's totally fine, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, guys, this is actually Mr. Nate Ramos out of Rossville, California. How you doing tonight, Nate?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I appreciate you for having me on this call again, this podcast. The first time was really fun, so I'm looking forward to another good time.
Hey, okay, man. And again, I really appreciate you because, again, I was very impressed with you the first time. First of all, you're a humble guy. I mean, you're successful. And as far as I can see, you haven't allowed that success to go to your head. And I do admire you for that. But at the same time, you know, I believe that myself, I'm 53 years old, and I don't mind learning from somebody like yourself. So I appreciate any bit of knowledge you can actually share with me. And so we do have some guests on. I actually see my wife is on tonight, Zeta. Also, we see Brian Hamilton and also Miss Reyes, looks like. Mm-hmm. Guys, I appreciate you all for coming on the show. And again, Mr. Nate Ramos. Now, Nate, we connected maybe a year ago, and if I'm not mistaken, it was through Instagram.
Right.
And you actually, I don't know what it was about you, man. I just actually connected with you, and we brought you on the show, and it was a successful show. So basically, we want to just again introduce you and your hard work that you're doing. And from what I understand, what I see, you're actually helping a lot of people, not just yourself. So first of all, how important is it to you to connect with people and to build rapport with them?
So I've learned through the years that it's extremely important, not just because, you know, your network is who your net worth is, or your net worth is your network, but I believe that relationships are the most important thing, not just with your family, but with friends that can become like family. And you can end up, you know, really touching some lives just by telling a story or, you know, giving a helping hand or, you know, a word of encouragement. So it's crazy, the life that I'm living right now, how God kind of implemented it to what I'm doing and how I'm interacting with other people is actually helping other people. So it's the value that you give.
And I will say also, you mentioned God, and I have noticed that about you. You don't mind, you know, sharing your faith and, you know, putting confidence in God. So that being said, how strong is your faith, or how important is your faith to you?
Man, that's a loaded question. It's everything really, because I believe, you know, what you think about, you bring about. And so all these personal development books that I read, you get those from, you know, the Bible, to be honest with you. So my relationship with God comes first, because when I give gratitude, I'm thanking God. When I give thanks, I'm thanking God, you know, because without his blessings, I don't have what I have currently.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I noticed that about you. So as we move into the interview, you are a serial entrepreneur, and oftentimes you hear people say that, and they're not really successful. They're just, you know, dabbling here and there. But from what I see, and with you, you're actually having some success because you're actually doing a lot of traveling right now. So you're in California. Mm-hmm. But within the next few days, you'll be doing some traveling. Is that due to the business you've actually developed?
So Seattle and Oregon, that is more of a family related thing, but there is business mixed into that. And then I'm going to Dallas, which is for a convention. So that's all business. But every travel that I've done this year has been based around business.
And I'm sure you know, as a entrepreneur, even though that may be some family stuff, as long as you go in there and talk about your business, that's some tax write-offs.
Oh man, hey, I have the receipts in my pocket.
So that being said, how did you get started in entrepreneurship? I know we talked about this the last interview, but for people who are just catching this now, how did you get started in entrepreneurship?
So I was living in Branson, Missouri. This is back in 2015. And I had the urge to move. I had the urge to go back to California, and it was a risk because I had a good paying job at the time, but I just feel like I needed more. So I moved to California, and I ended up meeting a few individuals that were trading on the Forex market. And I really didn't have any clue on what that brought to the table or what I was about to do. I was looking for a job. I was down in the dumps. And I feel like 3 or 4 times Forex came to a conversation, and I got told what it was. And then one day a good friend of mine showed me he made $7,000 in about 4 hours. And I was like, wait a minute, I've never seen that happen. So I immediately just took a grasp of that. So it's been 5 years since I've been trading Forex, but it's been 2 years since I implemented entrepreneurship, because throughout that time I still had jobs. I was still going to college, but you know, I think I just went and took the plunge. I just jumped. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to have a job. I'm making enough to where I don't need a job right now. By trading Forex, by you know, building teams, I'm just going to go for it. And ever since then, it's been a blessing. It's been a grind, but it's been a blessing.
Now, you said building teams. I want to back up for a minute. Who was your mentor? Because again, as a young guy that, you know, didn't know anything about business, you had to have a mentor. And I believe, I don't know, I imagine you read some books, but did you have some hands-on mentors there with you?
My first mentor was YouTube. Didn't really get a lot out of it, but then I found a guy named Q Banks. Q Banks was my personal Forex mentor. He's the one that took me from not understanding at all what I was doing to, you know, breaking the learning curve. And, you know, the shield in front of my eyes was released.
And what was the guy's name again?
His name is Q Banks.
Q Banks. I just want to say to our guests or viewers, Anthony, Mario, I can't see. I'm sorry if I messed up your name, and some others that joined us. Your mentor. Now, when we talk about mentoring, are you a mentor to people? I'm sure you are.
I like to think so, but only because they tell me. And so, so be it. That I never really thought this would be the way I go, but a lot of people reach out to me. A lot of people are, you know, giving testimonials, et cetera, et cetera. So I would like to say that that's the road that God has put me on right now. Yeah.
Okay. So for those that, you know, are watching and maybe watching later, tell us about Forex. What is Forex for those that, you know, don't know? I know a little bit, but I know just enough to lose money. So I just stay out of it.
Right. No, Forex is, by definition, it's the foreign exchange. It's the multiplication of your income. So it's like stocks, but it's currency pairs. You know, we're not trading businesses or companies or products. We're trading one currency pair versus the other, the value of one versus the devalue of the other. And the way I trade it is I margin trade, which means I can get in and get out whenever I want. And there's a leverage that goes with it. And there's risk management and all that. But if you have money sitting in the bank right now, let's say you get a check for $1,000, just a random check, $1,000. You can put 500 in your bank, let it sit there, or you can put 500 to 1,000 in a trading account and multiply it. Yes, you can lose money, but if you were letting your money sit in the bank, Grant Cardone said it best. If you let it sit there and try to get it to multiply, it will take over 800 years at 0.01%. But if you multiply it with a skill set such as Forex or crypto, you can definitely see the reward. You can see the gains.
So for the average person, how difficult is Forex to learn?
Whew. If you specifically want to come in and just make money right away, you might as well go to the casino and pull the lever. I tell people all the time, brand new and people who are seasoned, quite seasoned, education will take you from A to Z. Education is what took me from not knowing at all what this candlestick or this chart is doing to being able to dissect it and help thousands of people.
So how much work do you put in? I mean, hours. And again, and I want to back over just a second. I mean, I look at people who are on a job, they put in 40, 50, 60 hours on a job. but when it comes to educating themselves in order to build a legacy, they don't put in the same type of work. They think that's too long. So how much work are you willing to put in to be successful and have time freedom?
When I first started trading, I started with an hour a day, and then I went to 2 hours a day. And then I saw my mentor make $30,000 in a week. And I went for 6 months straight. I studied for 6 hours a day at a Starbucks in Branson, Missouri. Now I'll study for about an hour a day still, because I understand that if you master the basics, if you're coachable and teachable, if you get to a point where it's unconscious competence like the back of your hand, treat this like a 9 to 5 basically, and you'll get the reward. I promise you.
I want to back up a minute. I don't mean to laugh, but you said your mentor made 30 grand in what?
He made $30,000 in a week. He lived off of that $30,000 the next year, and he averaged anywhere from $22,000 to $48,000 a week after that.
And this is something that's actually realistic and doable for anybody that's willing to put in the time.
Oh yeah, and it's not going to be easy. It will not be easy. That's why in any industry there's a top 3%. There's a 97% of people who don't make it, and that's because this will teach you, if you don't have persistence, if you don't have patience, and if you don't have that push type mentality, you'll be a participant.
And so where do you see yourself in the next, let's say, 5 years with Forex?
I always tell myself every day I'm a mogul, and I say that with confidence. So written in a magazine somewhere, man. No, I see myself one of the top educators in the Forex market.
So you just spoke something, man. You're actually a mentor. You didn't expect to see yourself like that, but as a mogul, you're definitely going to be one of the top trainers. I can see that. You have that motivation about you.
Yeah.
So with Forex and this industry, where do you see this industry going for people such as yourself at your age? Let me back up. How old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
28. Okay. So do you see other people your age involved in this concept?
I always tell people the younger, the better. I was talking the other day at a coffee shop. I had these 17-year-olds hit me up and say, hey, can you come teach us a few things? And I told them, I said, you got to give this the 2 to 5 year mindset. If you put 2 to 5 years of hard work towards anything, you'll be very successful at it. And you'll find out real quick if it's for you or not for you. If you're 17 years old starting this game, by the time you're 22, 23, you have a skill set that potentially, with the right capital, can make you 6 figures a month. And so
the mindset.
It's all the mindset.
And of course, you mentioned something earlier. If you're teachable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If Kevin Trudeau, your wish is your command, is where I heard it. If you're not coachable and you're not teachable, if you have the I know mentality, you lost. Lost.
So switching gears just a little bit. As I mentioned, you are a serial entrepreneur. You're also into social media. And again, I know that you and I connected, again, I believe it was through Instagram. How important has social media, or how important is social media to you, and what impact has it had on your business?
We are our own billboard. So therefore, social media, with it being as powerful as it is, I used to be like camera shy, and to the point I kind of still am, but I figured, that is what's going to market you is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, so if the more you get yourself out there, the more you're telling your story. I heard it best. If it's not on camera, it never happened. So there's that.
There's a saying, and I'm sure you probably heard it. What is it? Oh my God, it just slipped my mind. Duplication beats conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That it?
Yep.
So as you build your business, how many people do you have on your team? Documentation, that's the word. Documentation beats conversation.
So I'll put it like this. I have a Telegram channel. I have quite a bit, man. I have a Telegram channel that went from 300 subscribers in about 2 months to 1,200.
And did you ever see yourself doing that a few months ago or a year ago?
I can't say that, because I really wasn't. Like, as I continue to grow with reading books and everything, my personal development journey keeps getting better. So yes, but not to the extent now. Now I know I'm helping people, like, to a larger extent. I get told on a daily basis, people from Tobago or Trinidad or the Bahamas, so it's going global now, which that's my goal. I want to 10x everything.
And I want to just take a break to recognize our viewers. We have Perry Lamar, I believe that may be, and we have a Darla Welch Ramos. Is that?
That's my mother. Yeah.
Yeah, she was on the last one, the last interview we did. Hello,
Yeah.
Mom. Also to Courtney. Also, who else do we have? Arnika. And guys, I forgive me if I'm messing your names up. And we have also Aja, looks like Aja Man. And so with your social media, you talked about we are our own billboard. How much time do you put into branding? Because I know branding is another part of business and entrepreneurship.
So now that I've seen other people blow up because of their branding, it's everything. It's absolutely everything. The more you show a certain lifestyle that people want to live, the more, business you will get. I was in Miami and I was on the 48th floor of a business partner's penthouse condo and overlooking the whole city of Miami. And, for me, just showing where I was at, not even like showing off, people consistently hitting me up. Man, I see what you're doing. Hey, this, hey, that, I wish I was there. It's everything because people want to live a lifestyle outside of the normal.
And you're not one, again, I haven't seen you and I'm not knocking it, but you're not one to brag or boast. You just go out there and you put the work in.
Well, I would love to brag, but pride comes before the fall. So yeah. I can't brag, man. I can be confident, I can be very confident in the opportunity and the fact of what I'm doing, but to be braggadocious shows a lack of character.
Yeah, yeah. And I appreciate that about you. So you've got the Forex, you've got the social media. You mentioned the other day when we were talking about Amazon, I believe it's drop shipping. Now I know a little bit about that. Share with the viewers, those that may come a little bit later, what is Amazon drop shipping and how lucrative can that be? So
I knew a few people that were doing drop shipping through Amazon, and I knew that it was a little bit of an investment. I'll be honest, it's about $20,000 up front, and but they were making in their 8th to 10th month, they were having returns of $13,000 to $20,000 a month net. And so what it is you and I go on Amazon and shop, and we get a trampoline, for example, and that trampoline is $255. Well, you can get it at Walmart for $200. That's what the drop shipper does. He gets it for $200. The margin there is $55. He makes $55. You get your product. I'm on the opposite end now. I'm not just buying the product. I'm making the money from the customer. So it's another form of passive income.
So basically, you don't touch the product.
This is fully automated, so 98% of the work is done. I don't have to touch it. The only thing I have to do is taxes at the end of the year.
Now, I want to back up a minute. Now, this is for people that are watching. I noticed you said, you knew it was going to be an expense. And I think you said like 20K. First of all, it's impressive to have a 20-something-year-old that can actually invest in a business, $20,000 and then, build a legacy and set a future for himself. It amazes me there are people out there that, want to build a business or be in a business, but don't realize, it sometimes it takes money to do that, and people aren't willing to make that investment. What about your circle of influence? Who do you surround yourself with, and how have they impacted your life?
Oh man, I found out real quick, if I was the smartest in the room, I need to leave that room. So my circle of influence is individuals who are the only way that they're gonna stop doing what they are destined to do is if, I said it the other day to my business partner. I said, bro, I know for a fact the only way you're stopping is if someone guns you down or if hot lava gets you. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm around people who they're hungry. They want to win at a high level. They want to retire their family. They want to retire themselves at a young age. They see the power of the internet. They see the power of credit, leveraging other people's money. And so they're also very much personal and spiritual developed. You got to be equally yoked. And you have to be around, people, AKA hitters, as they say. And I found that out at a young age.
And I know this may be a little personal. You seem like a level-headed young man. And I hope you don't mind me calling you a young man. And and I know you like to enjoy life, but do you spend a lot of time partying?
Man, that gentleman on the call earlier, Anthony Morero. No, he knows straight up. I'm not the one to go out and party, man. I've been intoxicated 3 times my whole life. It's not been my thing. I have a better time like chilling out, making sure that I'm getting ahead, ready for tomorrow. That's just I love going out, having a good time, listening to music, whatever the case may be. But it doesn't set you up for success that much. I feel like.
Yeah. Again, I don't knock this. I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but there are people out there that, spend a lot of time partying, and at the end of the party, they're working hard just for the weekend and to go and blow the money during the weekend. And, if they can just invest some time and just take those weekends off and just learn and educate themselves and begin to focus on a business opportunity, it's amazing how their lives can change.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what I'd like to do now is just let you share anything personal that you'd like to share with the viewers as we get ready to wrap this up. I don't want to take a whole lot of your time, but again, I do appreciate you for taking the time out to just come and share with us. But just share something with our viewers that they can actually take with them, share, how they can get in contact with you. Anything else you'd like to share with them right now?
So you can get in contact with me on Instagram at Nate Ramos FX or on Facebook. I guess the number one thing that I would tell anybody, any age, is just if you have to be uncomfortable, then be uncomfortable. Believe in yourself, read books, dive into personal development, put yourself in a situation where you have mentors around you that you're forced to learn, because I believe to be educated until the day that we pass on is a blessing. I believe that in order to win at a high level of life, you have to find somebody who's winning at that high level of life. And, you can't do it by yourself. And the number one thing is, who do you listen to? Are you going to listen to the individual? If you want to make $80,000 a month, you can't listen to the individual making $80,000 a year. And that's not a knock on them. That might be all that they want. But I want to make $80,000 a day. So I got to find that person who makes $80,000 a day so I can then do that as well.
You make sure you keep my number in your phone, so when you do that, you don't forget about it, brother.
Sure, man.
Hey, guys. Again, find Nate on Facebook, also on Instagram. Mr. Nate Ramos out of Rossville, California. Nate, again, I really do appreciate you, man. I asked you just go in to Facebook and put your contact information in the comments so people can actually look you up. And again, I really do appreciate you for taking the time out. I'm looking for big things from you, sir.
Oh, thank you. I will. You have my word.
Guys, this is Tony C. Davis, the Tony C. Davis Show. We do appreciate you. And again, look Nate up. I'm pleased, and I will say I consider him a friend. We haven't met in person, right? But I consider Nate a friend. I appreciate you, sir.
Same, man.
So, guys, again, thank you all. Check Nate out. Again, this is Tony C. Davis, Tony C. Davis Show. Comment, like, and share, and you all be blessed.
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys, so that's a wrap for another show. I really do appreciate you for joining us today. I hope that you found some value in today's show. And listen, if you have some valuable content to share, reach out to me at thetcdshow@gmail.com, thetcdshow@gmail.com. We'll share your valuable content with the world. Now, listen, also, you can follow me live on Facebook, where I actually do some live recording. So I appreciate you, my friends. And in the words of my good friend, Mr. Willis Wright, I'll see you at the top or from the top, because the bottom is definitely way too crowded. God bless.